always been. This is Kwaratv, Pata Yakuba Ilorin. Stay tuned and listen to us.
Okay, you've heard it from Divine Joseph. And today's topic, we're going to be dealing and discussing about mental health and feelings. With the much pressure of today's world, like we're talking about too much pressure, too much society, this thing, a lot of youth have been facing a lot of things like depressions and the rest. So we want to take this sensitive topic up, talking about feelings and mental health. So we'll go into the first question, which is checking in and awareness. I can't be talking about mental health when we don't ask ourselves, like, what's been on your mind lately?
A lot has been on my mind lately, but one thing really matters, which is growth. At this tender age, it is very important that we understand the essence of growth, and then, as a young fellow trying to pursue purpose, it is very essential that we are focused more on growth and then consistent with God as well. So growth has been on my mind lately.
So I will take from what you're saying, okay, I'm also feeling like the things I'm feeling about is I don't know if I'll put it under societal pressure, like financial issues and the rest. So that's I don't want to go deeper. The second question, what have made your mind calm? Okay, you're talking about growth. What has made your mind calm about the pressure, about you growing? What has made your mind calm recently?
We have a lot of things on social media currently that has brought prayer on the youth. And then, but one thing really makes my mind so calm is that I believe in one possibility. I believe in when you are growing, it's just a matter of time. You definitely get it. So I believe in God. I believe in possibility. I believe in the art of I'm learning I'm learning tasks every day financially. I'm taking responsibility and then doing the needful. So that has been the things that really makes my mind calm. So that because I believe a day is coming where we definitely get to that junction.
There's some people there are so many ways people use means. There are so many means that people use to make themselves feel calm about situations, about uprising situations, such as probably they listen to songs, they listen to music, they listen to podcasts. Sometimes some people go out, like to just
relax.
To take fresh air, to unwind, like to take a lot of burdens that they feel. So that's a good take. Moving on to the next questions. Is there anything you are carrying that you wish you could put down?
Okay, currently a lot has been on my mind. If I'm to direct it to the question, there are a lot of things that I've been carrying, even as a man and as a youth, be it financially, but we don't have to forfeit purpose. We don't have to forfeit our responsibility. So at that same time, you have to learn to, when prayer comes, you follow the prayer and mount it up. So there is nothing that currently I can say I feel like putting down. No.
Okay, so the things that you're talking about is like pressure, and you also feel like that the things that you're carrying, you should also like put them down, because if you don't take care of yourself, it will weigh you down, and it will cause you disarray. You might feel depressed. You might not get your acts together. So moving on to the next questions, like speaking about mental health, like when you're feeling down and you don't have anybody to talk to, who do you feel most safe, like safest when you talk to somebody? Who do you feel? Could it be your mom, your dad, your friends, your girlfriend, or sometimes some people put it to God in prayer? So who do you feel is the safest to talk to?
Okay, the way I understand life, I understand it that when situation arrives, that is when something feels like a mountain, and then like a prayer. One of the most important personnel, the first person you should take everything to is taking it to God. You get, and then the second thing is that have people that surrounds me. That is, I'm surrounded by people of the same goals, of the same objective, of the same aims. So either mentors, either senior friends, either colleagues. So I take it to them, and apart from prayers, I take it to them and seek advice from them, seek counsel from them, so that when you get, there's a particular junction where you get to, when journey in purpose, when you get to that junction, you'll be confused. So that is where prayer comes in. So at that junction, I take it to senior friends or
people that have had experiences, like, okay, this is where I'm having issues,
so that I will be able to navigate my ways carefully and patiently.
So unlike me, like, there's a point in my life where I was actually feeling depressed. Like, I was like, okay, there's nobody I could talk to. The person that I feel like I'm open up to, like, we could relate better, she could understand how I deeply feel. Sorry to say this, but my sister, maybe if I'm having an issue, I'm like, okay, I need an advice. What do you feel? Like, how should I go about with this kind of situation? Is there something you could tell me that will lift my spirit up, that will make me feel happy? I'll say, okay, okay, do this and do that. Don't do this and do that. Okay, go this and go this way. That's
guidance.
Just guidance. Yes, just that guidance will just make me feel better. Like, okay, I wouldn't feel bad. I'll pick up and start up with my life and move on with my life. Okay. Moving on to the question, Joseph. What's the best way that someone can support you when you are down? Is it by listening, by advice, by distractions? What are the best way you could see as a possible distraction, like possible something like that will uplift your spirit to say, okay, that this thing has made me feel better? Yes.
Yeah. You see, if I'm to answer this question personally, okay, I would say just a piece of information. Information, yeah.
You just need the right information.
The right information. Okay. Because we have different capacity. And when it comes to personality, some people, someone like me, I believe in empowering people, not only financially.
Okay.
So we can have someone that, okay, what the person needs, even upon ideas, upon flexibility.
What that person needs is feelings and mental health.
Yes, what that person needs, it's probably finance.
Okay.
As a means of support, you understand. Okay. But with my personality, I believe in information, giving even if it's a piece of an advice that can calm the whole situation down.
Well, for me, you can support me with advice and also
and finance.
Finance too. Yeah. You can support me with advice.
Because every youth needs finance actually, but information really matters.
Information really matters, and that information also lead the person to the right track, and also distraction too. What would I say about distraction? Probably making the person, like, I don't know how to put it. But
finance can also be a distraction. Even as a youth, finance can also be a distraction, because if the right information is not given, you cannot be finance a capacity and spend the money
recklessly.
Yeah, recklessly. So that was why I said information matters.
Okay.
Information matters.
Okay. What's something you wish people understood about how you feel?
Okay. There's something I prioritize most, and then if I'm okay, let me just say it briefly, is that I prioritize purpose most. That is because probably due to background and the way I was brought up, yes. Okay. So I perceived everybody around me. I perceived purpose most. So if I'm relating with you, I relate with you. My relationship with you, it has to be based on purpose. So, and if I feel like, okay, this thing is not getting fulfilled, or there's no green light as regards the fulfillment, I backed off. I can be quiet for a long time without saying anything, and the relationship. So one thing matters is that, to me, I don't become silent suddenly So when you see me being quiet,
Okay.
it's something.
It's a signal
It's
to
a signal.
the next person that
It's a
something
signal. Not
is-
pride is a signal.
It's a signal.
It's a signal, yeah.
Okay. Okay, you mentioned purpose. That purpose was very, very deep. Like, when somebody, something that someone wants to know about you, like the feeling, when you're down, like, okay, this person is not okay. Do you think purpose is the only answer? Couldn't be like peace of mind? Like, sometimes you feel like somebody should understand that I respect my peace of mind. Sometimes it could just be any other thing else. Do you think it's just only purpose?
You see, let me elaborate it briefly. The word purpose is generally everything you are doing. For we being here this afternoon is to enlighten the youth about situations, right? And that's the purpose. Now, if your issue, if the challenge is about finance, even if it is emotional, probably relationship, it's because you entered into that relationship, or you are maybe you are confused about that situation, is because of the purpose that you want to achieve there. So the purpose, generally, it's like a kind of the reason why a situation happens. You get, and then we meet people for reasons. I said it earlier. We meet people for reasons. It can be because of financial orientation. It can be because of a relationship orientation, counseling, psychological counseling, academics wise. You get. So, but when you understand this, it will be very easy for you, because when it comes to you being confused, you know where and who to talk to. Okay, this is my friend when it comes to mental health, so I know, okay, this is my friend when it comes to relationship. He or she can give a solid advice for me. You get, so that is it.
So there's some other things like people can understand. There's some people who deal with anger issues. There's some people who deal with probably inferiority complex.
Yes.
Some other things like how do you make somebody feel about it? Like, this is where I'm having issues with. How do you make this person feel better? Like, okay, you can actually comfort that person that you don't have to feel bad. You don't have to feel bad. There are many people that are going through this actual phase, that once you pass this phase, there is nothing holding you back. There's some other things. There's so many significant factors that usually make people feel down, and they always want somebody to understand how they feel. Understand what is going on with them. Purpose is also part of the emotions you just mentioned right now. I also want to ask, what is a thought about yourself you are trying to unlearn?
Okay, a thought about myself that I'm trying to unlearn is that due to background, you might be open to many things. You understand? So I'm trying to unlearn the true way of the way I was brought up. My dad happens to be a retired principal. So I was brought up with an iron hand. So if you did not, there was a time, let me share you an experience briefly. There was a time while I was on campus, while I was in secondary school, my dad happens to be the principal of the school. You get. So I did a test, exam. I did some exams. Then I felt sick after the exam, and it was towards the conclusion of everything. So that was the third term. So I wrapped up my exams books, the questions books. So I put it at the window. My dad entered my room, hopefully just to check on me about my health and this thing. And he said, "Okay, why coming to the school? Can you bring up these things?" So I took the books, the questions paper. I took it to him at the office, and he brought out canes publicly, and I was beaten. But so after that, I began to take up my siblings as, okay, if you did not read probably 5 hours in a day, then you are not doing anything. So, but recently I discovered that it is not always about reading. Of course, knowledge is important, but it is not always about reading. It is about self-reflection. Trying to unlearn this by the reason of, okay, let me get these things right, get other things right. So do the right thing.
Can I pick what you just said? Okay. You just open up like a personal something about yourself.
Yeah.
You talked about you growing up in a strict home. where discipline is the order of the day.
Yes.
Like if you don't do this, you receive caning. If you don't do this, you receive discipline. If you don't do that, you receive discipline. Whereby, as you are growing older, you get to see the other part of life and feel like this is not the way of life. This is not reality. You cannot, maybe if you have children someday, you cannot just like raise them with the same method your father, the same pattern your father used to raise you. So that's the thing you're trying to unlearn. That's a good take. You know, there are some things apart from growing up in a street home. You know, talking about some bad habits. There are some things that maybe if you're that discipline you didn't know. There's some people that usually do self-harm.
Yes.
Because they feel bad that their parents are not happy with them. Because of that, they grow up to self-harm themselves. Maybe they put on rubber, they start snapping it on. I've witnessed most kids, because of probably what their parents would say, they started self-harming themselves, and many of them go into depression. There are so many unhappy youths nowadays because of what they saw during childhood.
Do you know, the way I was brought up, like I had some gift when it comes to creativity, the ability to write very well, and then the ability to draw. I can draw anything, you get then. But later on, due to the strictness, I was brought up like in kind of a barrack setting, you get. So okay. I lost the ability to draw anything, because most of my books then when I was in primary school, I drew on it. I drew a lot of things on it, you get. So but I lost, so I entered into depression then, because of, okay, I was unable to, if I do anything, I will be, even though dad restricted me on some things and I was chanced to do some things freely, you get. But due to the discipline, I resisted myself. I said that I won't do this. So even if I'm drawing to execute my skill, I had it. I mean, I lost the privilege.
But as you are now, like, have you visited those kind of things? Like, have you started maybe this is what I have passion for? Since you were little, you have this passion. Like, okay, since I was little, because of the situation you were then. Maybe you try to revisit all those passions, like, baby, let me pick up a pencil and try to draw a certain object. Have you tried doing something like
not
that?
Recently, but when it comes to the second one, which is the ability to write things.
To write things, okay.
I'm an author.
That's good.
So
do you plan on writing a book anytime soon?
I'm currently working on one.
You're currently working on one? Oh, that's wonderful. That's wonderful. Okay, the next question, what makes you feel proud of who you're becoming? Okay,
there are many things that actually makes me proud of who I'm becoming.
Okay.
But one thing really matters that at a tender age, I was open to mentors, either physical or through the art of searching. You get. I was open to, even by my dad. And there's one thing that I will always make reference, even though it's late now, I will always make reference to him, is the ability to maximize time. Even one of the things I count as something that is not that useful to myself, to my personality, is watching football. And if I'm going to either a football pitch, or if I want to go and watch football, I prepared at least 30 minutes before the football. I arrange everything. So time is.
So you've noted one thing, that you're time conscious.
Yes.
When it comes to things like, okay, as you've grown up, you're proud of what you've become.
Yes.
So there's something like, if you look at your younger self, what are the what will you tell your younger self?
Okay, one of the things I will tell my younger self, and then is, I think the best thing I can tell them is timing. They should understand what timing is. And then understanding what time is the ability to be open to opportunities, ability to be open to mentoring. That is a methodical mentorship. You staying careful, you being meek with people around you, being meek with situation, because mentors can be found anywhere. Be it situation, be it people physically, be it environment. Okay, so the ability to add ear to situations, and then listening carefully on what is circumstance, what you are being taught by a challenge.
Okay, for me, I would say that I am proud. If I could talk to my younger self, I am proud of myself, of who I have become, and I've learned so many lessons in this journey of life. I've improved in some areas where I was lacking, like self-confidence, and also able to relate to people more, be open to people more. I've become more happier than how I was when I was little. So I am more proud, even though I have not gotten to where exactly I want to be, but where I am right now, I just give thanks to God that I'm alive and I am happy. So that will be all on today's episode. But this is going to be a take home for, since we're dealing with feelings and mental health. If you or someone you are talking to ever feels like they might hurt themselves, if they need help, please always try to visit a healthcare professional or a trusted right person. You open up to that person, you tell the person how you feel. It's just like lifting a burden, a weight you carry on your heart. It's just like lifting a body. So just open up to the person and explain how you feel. They might help you in one way or the other. So that is going to be a wrap on today's show. We thank you for joining us in today's episode. I hope you're able to learn one or two, and I remain your host, Faustina Akubidike. But before we go, Divine Joseph would like to say goodbye.
Thank you for tuning in again this afternoon. It is a pleasure to have you, and I believe that you've enjoyed this section, and then by God's grace we'll be meeting next section. So kindly, a piece of advice: anytime you are tuning in, get your jotter, your pen, and a glass of water. Thank you.
Okay, you've heard it from Divine Joseph. Don't forget to follow us on our Facebook handle at Kwaratv, and also join us live at Kwaratv, and also on Star Times 113 and Free TV 502. God bless you. Goodbye for now.